Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for showing up with me for today's topic on our heart disease and stroke series. We're continuing the 6-step prevention plan, and we're ending those 6 steps tonight with step 5, which is optimal goals, and step 6, which is genetics. Remember, this comes from the Healthy Heart, Healthy Brain by Bradley Bale, MD, and Amy Doneen, DNP. And for those who are not familiar with me, my name is Linnea Baker. I'm a board certified family nurse practitioner. I've been in healthcare for over 25 years. So when we talk about the 6-step prevention plan, the Bale-Doneen method uses the acronym EDFROG. And we did a few weeks ago, the E is education. We covered D for disease. We covered the F for fire in the arteries. We covered R, root cause. Those 2 topics were last week. And this week, we're going to cover the O, optimal goals, and G, genetics. So let's start with step 5, optimal goals. And in the AHA for Life plan, which is the Bale-Doneen method that they have put together and have evidence-based research done and been practicing for decades now, it is the Arterial Health Assurance for Life plan is what AHA stands for. And what this plan does is it actually sets higher standards for treatment and prevention than what is out there for the standard of medical care. And I did a large part of my career in cardiology and cardiovascular disease. And so what they're doing with this method is looking at even higher standards than what is typically out there as the standard of care. And they also take an individual approach to their treatment plan instead of a one-size-fits-all approach. And their individualized approach actually leads to superior outcomes and more effective heart attack and stroke prevention. They said the one-size-fits-all goals are set by standards of care and based on average results from large studies. So just think about it. If I look at your specific risk factors individually and individualize a plan for you, it's going to be more impactful and effective for you than if I gave a generalized plan that most people utilize, okay? And then the AHA for Life plan, the Arterial Health Assurance for Life plan, they actually believe in setting individual, not aggressive treatment goals. So they're really looking at gradually improving your health and doing what's best for you based on your personal risk factors and what is what makes you stand out and what's going to be most impactful for you. So in optimal goals, one example would be setting the blood pressure goal. In the standard of medical care, blood pressure of 140/90 is usually where they start treatment. And when you have a blood pressure of 120/80 to 139/89, you're advised you have prehypertension. It's a little high, nothing to worry about, okay? Well, actually, in the results from several large studies, blood pressure in the quote prehypertension range will actually double the risk of death from cardiovascular disease, and it causes triple the risk of heart attack if it goes untreated. Okay, so that not to worry about number is actually significant towards being healthy when we look at an arterial health standpoint. And elevated blood pressure also has additional risk factors. It is the leading risk factor for strokes, chronic kidney disease, and dementia. So there's several different reasons why we want to get those numbers down lower than what is the standard of care. However, they believe in individual, not aggressive treatment goals because in the book, Healthy Heart, Healthy Brain, Drs. Bale and Dr. Doneen say that certain patients, such as type 2 diabetics, can be harmed if their blood pressure is reduced below 120/80. So again, they're looking at your specific needs and what your goals should be based on what you have, what your diagnoses are, and what your risk factors are. And I love that approach. We're looking at things holistically and we're individualizing them. And that's a lot of what I do and what I'm passionate about. I've always said there's not a one-size-fits-all approach. There's a general rule of thumb, but you really need to narrow things down to the individual. And I absolutely love where they're coming from with this. So in the AHA for Life plan, when we say treatment is based on, well, we're talking about step 6, genetics, guys, sorry. So in this one, when we say we're individualizing the treatment plan for optimal goals, well, we're also individualizing based on each person's unique gene makeup. And when we look at your individual unique genetics, that gives them the the ultimate in precision medicine, because we're treating based on your personal risk factors and your genetic makeup. So the Baldonine method has used genetic testing for over a decade to both identify patients with inherited risk for heart attacks and strokes and to guide best personalized treatment of those risks. So instead of, again, a one-size-fits-all approach, they go ahead and individualize their treatment, not just on your risk factors, but even more in depth to your genetic risk factors and what your genes are made of. So in genetics, they have a 9p21, the 9p21 gene called the heart attack gene. And actually 50% of Americans carry this gene. And there's a recent study that said those that carry the 9p21 gene and other high-risk genes who stay physically fit can reduce their risk for cardiovascular disease by up to 50%. And what does that highlight? It highlights the importance of an optimal lifestyle to keep your heart healthy, no matter what your genetics carry. So just because you have the genes to have the higher risk factors, when we know what when we know better, we can do better, right? I say that a lot. When we know better, we can do better. So by finding out what our risks are and what our genetic makeup is, we can do the things that are going to make the biggest impact on that to prevent us from having these types of chronic illnesses. So under genetics, they also talk about the APOE4 gene, and 25% of Americans carry this gene. That gives them a dramatic increase in risk for cardiovascular disease and gives them a 20 times higher risk for developing Alzheimer's disease. So when we do treatment plans based on the gene type, I want you to realize, yes, it's scary to know you carry these genes, right? But when we know that what genes are putting you at risk, those same genes that are putting you at higher risk of having a heart attack can also be what we utilize to give you targeted treatment to reduce the risk, which is powerful, guys. You can make a bigger impact knowing how to reduce your risk based on your risk factors from your genetics. So I hope that you get as excited as I do over the information that's coming out from this book. Next week, we're going to cover the new red flags for heart attack, stroke, and dementia risk. They're going to kind of surprise you, I think. It definitely surprised me, and I've been in this field for a while. So I'm excited to get to share that with you. And remember, guys, I'm on a mission to positively impact your health and wellness through education and coaching to create that generational health. Remember, more is caught than taught by your kids and your grandkids. So we're setting the example so they catch the things that will keep them healthy. And also, we are creating a health span that equals your lifespan. That is my mission. And for those of you who don't know where to begin or frustrated, have questions, please reach out to me and reach out to me to schedule an appointment for a free health consult. You can comment below or you can private message me. I would love to lock arms with you and help you with a personalized health journey for you and plan for you. And remember, none of this information is to replace the guidance that your personal healthcare provider or specialist that may be following you and treating you is giving you. It's to give you that knowledge so that you can advocate for yourself and be aware of things that may make a huge impact on your own health and to be able to have those discussions with your healthcare provider. Now, the book I use, this is the book. I got it from Amazon. I have nothing to do with the book. I'm just passionate about educating others. And because my background was largely cardiac in nature, this lights me up. And if it lights me up, then you guys should be excited as well, because there's lots of great things coming down the pipeline to change what we've been doing in cardiac and arterial healthcare for a while now. And it's a holistic approach. So this book you can get on Amazon. I highly encourage you to grab a copy because you can read it faster than I'm covering the nuggets each week. And you will get more out of the book because I'm only covering certain parts of it for this topic. And you can even bring that book to your healthcare provider and have discussions with them on questions you may have personally for your own health journey and your own whatever diagnoses you may have. And it is written in layperson's terms. So you do not have to be medical. They wrote this book specifically to help people be able to advocate for their own health. Okay. So that being said, thank you so much for giving me some of your valuable time tonight and spending some time with me learning about these things that can have a huge impact on your overall health and wellness. And go ahead and reach out to me if you have questions or would like to set up a health consult appointment. And I look forward to speaking with you guys again and sharing more great information next week in this series. Until then, be safe and take care.